Yes, what a beautiful cloudy morning to talk sports here in the city of Abuja. I am Ijoma Victor, and thanks for joining us on Rapid Dawn, the breakfast show, as we continue with sport this morning. And we head straight to Antalya Sport. Yes, talking about the city in Turkey where the Super Eagles presently had their first training session yesterday. Now, the Super Eagles kicked off preparations for their upcoming friendly matches against Iran and Jordan with their first training session on Wednesday night in Antalya, Turkey. Now, Super Eagles will be without defender Calvin Bassey. Yes, we talked about that yesterday, talking about Calvin Bassey with a back injury for the upcoming international friendly after he withdrew from that particular encounter. Now, let's also tell you that the Nigerian Football Federation confirmed that Bassey pulled out ahead of the team's preparations for the double-header fixtures. Now, the Super Eagles opened up their training camp in Turkey on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, 22 players are currently in attendance. All invited players participated in Wednesday's first training session. Meanwhile, team captain Wilfred Ndidi has now joined the squad, providing a boost as preparations intensify ahead of the matches. Nigeria will face Iran on Friday and before taking on Jordan on Monday, March 31 in their second friendly encounter. Now, these fixtures mark the Super Eagles' first matches since securing a third-place finish at the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco as the teams begin its next phase of international engagement. The Super Eagles will hold their final training session ahead of their first game against Iran's team Mali on Thursday. Now, it will be the third meeting between both countries at the senior level. Ahmed Garba scored a second-half goal that separated both teams at the Carlsberg Cup in Hong Kong in January 1998, while the two teams also clash in Group F in Curitiba at the 2014 FIFA World Cup final in Brazil, which ended scoreless. Now, looking at Friday's encounter, yes, it will kick off precisely at about 4 p.m. Local time and 2 p.m. Nigerian time. Now, let's look at the players once again in camp. Fisayo Bashiru, yes, Alex Iwobi, Emmanuel Oluwasegun, Yira Sor, Onwachu Paul, Philip Otele, Sibi Ajayi, Moses Simon, Francis Uzoho, Bruno Onyemechi, Bright Osai Samuel, Frank Onyeka, Adebayo Adeleye. We also have Ademola Lukman, Akko Adams, Chidera Ejuke, Raphael Onyedika, Igor Ogbu, Maduka Okoye, Samuel Chukwueze, Seidu Sanusi, and Wilfred Ndidi. Now, before we move further, we look at the Super Eagles and trying to perfect their tactical abilities in camp. We'll tell you that Eric Chell is always familiar with his diamond formation of 4-3-1-2. Yes, that's Eric Chell, familiar formation 4-3-1-2. So that we're having 4 defense lineup. We also have 3 defensive midfielder. Then we also have 1 attacking midfielder and 2 strikers up front. So when you look at the diamond formation of Eric Chell, that means everyone will be mobile, coming from the flank, coming from the middle, also joining in the park when defending, and also will be going all out when they are attacking. Yes, Eric Chell is also very familiar with that part. He loves that formation, talking about the 4-4-2 diamond formation. Before we look at the other players in camp, let's give you this interview. Yes, it was exclusive on a sister station, talking about a newly invited player to the Super Eagles camp in the person of Yira Sor. Yes, Yira Sor plays for Genk in the Belgium League. Now, also will be making his debut for the Super Eagles as he spoke on his qualities and what he brings to the Super Eagles. Now, the winger says he is prepared to take on his chances. Yira Sor.
Player with a lot of pace. I'll link-up play. So I hope I can give this to the team, and together we can achieve more. Just 2 months ago in the AFCON, I was watching the team on the television, and I was nervous for every game they played. You know, I was supporting the team, and 2-3 months later, I got called up to join this squad. It was really a shock for me, to be very honest. But thank God for everything. And you know, to represent Nigeria over more than 200 million people is something I really see to be an honor. You know, it's a privilege that I must not take for granted, and I have to push to the maximum.
Okay, that's Yira Sor with Genk in the Belgian league. Also, Rafael Onyedika applies his trade also with Club Brugge in Belgium. Also, we have other newly invited players. Philip Otule for Hamburger SV, a versatile forward, also plays from the flank and is known for his speed and strength. Let's also tell you that Emmanuel Fernandez, yes, from Glasgow, Scotland, a young centre-back, also will be making his debut. Maduka Okoye is making a return to the Super Eagles after a clubless Chief Stanley Wabali will not be making. Yes, he didn't make it to the Super Eagles. So, what's his name? Maduka Okoye from Udinese will be making a return back to the Super Eagles. So we'll miss the services of Victor Osimhen. We'll also miss services of Stanley Wabali, and also Ola Aina will also be missing in that squad.